It's been a busy day. The action has shifted from Ladakh to Delhi and Beijing. The border standoff between India and China is still on. But today, China has struck a conciliatory tone. India, as always, remained resolute at the border and reasonable at the talking table. So China has signaled at a de-escalation. In an almost coordinated fashion, China released two statements today, one from Beijing, the other from Delhi. Suddenly, the tone has changed from confrontation to cooperation, from troop build-up to talking peace. China says the situation at the border is quote-unquote under control. What inspired this change of heart? First, China sent thousands of soldiers at the border in Ladakh in the middle of a pandemic, and now China is talking about the dance of the dragon and the elephant. What explains this? That is the question we'll try to answer in our cover story tonight. Let's start with Beijing. The Communist Party is wrapping up its annual parliament meeting. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs holds a daily press conference. Zhao Lijian, known as the Wolf Warrior-in-Chief, takes the questions. This is the same diplomat who had blamed the United States Army for the Wuhan virus outbreak. In WION, we know him as a Chinese diplomat who has blocked us on social media. Zhao Lijian is known for his aggressive style, but today, when he was asked about India, he, for once, spoke like a diplomat. He spoke about dialogue, about consultation, about border mechanisms. Listen to this carefully because it's rare.
The current situation on the India-China border is generally stable and controllable. China and India have perfect border-related mechanisms and communication channels. Both parties have the ability to properly resolve relevant issues through dialogue and consultation.
The situation is stable and controllable, says China. The same China was yesterday blaming India for the standoff. So what has changed in the last 24 hours? The Chinese ambassador to India also spoke today. Same line, different words. He said India and China can dance together.
The realization of dragon and elephant dancing together is the only right choice for China and India, which serves the fundamental interests of our two peoples and the two countries. As the two major emerging economies, China and India should strengthen practical cooperation in investment, production capacity, and other fields.
Sure, it takes two to tango. Will the PLA walk the ambassador's talk is the question. By the way, he said this before. In January this year, the Chinese ambassador, the very same man, was in Kolkata. He was attending Chinese New Year celebrations in the city. He spoke about the engagements between Prime Minister Modi and President Xi. And he said that both leaders are co-writing the chapter of the elephant and the dragon dancing together. It seems the Chinese like the idea of dancing, especially their army. So this summer, thousands of troops waltzed their way into the Galwan Valley. They danced their way into a confrontation which is being called worse than the Doklam standoff. And now their top diplomats are toning it down, almost indicating that the crisis will soon be over. Frankly, China does not have the bandwidth to deal with a border standoff with India. It has a pile of problems. First, the pandemic itself. China is still fighting the virus. Second, the investigation into the cover-up. Third, the onslaught from America from all directions. Fourth, Hong Kong, it's on the boil again. And fifth, the growing global support for Taiwan. China's hands are full. A border standoff is not something that they can handle right now. They're still fighting charges of a cover-up.
China has provided timely information to the world in an open, transparent, and responsible manner. We did not cover up anything and did not delay any efforts. The identifying the source of the virus is a serious and complex issue of science, which should be studied and explored by the scientists and the medical experts.
Let me give you another example that shows what tops their mind right now. China's Foreign Minister Wang Yi held his annual press conference over the weekend. It went on for 100 minutes. He did not once mention India. Reports say both sides prefer quiet diplomacy. India's response is being crafted and guided by the Prime Minister's top team, National Security Advisor Ajit Doval, Chief of Defence Staff General Bipin Rawat and External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar, the same team that handled the Doklam crisis in 2017. They understand how the Chinese operate and they're at work. China may want to quietly settle this. Are its generals listening? Reports say the Chinese officers in charge ordered the troop deployment. Tensions rose and governments on both sides had to intervene. So how should we see today's statements? We've been following China, as you know, and we've been speaking to experts on China. So let me give you a three-point conclusion. First, there is definitely a shift in China's approach. Back-channel diplomacy is at work. Second, China wants to safeguard its trade relationship with India while changing status quo at the border. It wants to deflect tough questions with good words. And third, don't take their word for it. Watch their actions, not their words. This crisis will de-escalate only when the Chinese troops move back.